The basic structure and scope of the Blockbuster agreement is a 20-year exclusive arrangement between Enron and Blockbuster to deliver movies on demand to consumers' households. As soon as this agreement was consummated, we went and signed up distribution agreements with partners such as SBC, Quest, Verizon, Reflex, Telus, and Covad. And so what each of the partners will bring to the table is Blockbuster's bringing their content. They're the largest movie and gaming content aggregator in the world. They're also bringing a world-renowned brand, and they're bringing 65 million active household subscribers. To that equation then, Enron brings the Enron Intelligent Network and our private broadband delivery platform. And then together, our distribution partners will take the content all the way to consumers' homes. Enron and Blockbuster are projecting this movie-on-demand business to be a multi-billion-dollar business within 5 to 7 years, and we think that together we're going to get the majority of that industry. The deal between Enron and Blockbuster is actually an entertainment-on-demand offering. Now we're going to start with movies on demand. So the goal is that by Christmas, people in 2 cities will be watching movies on demand, provided by Enron and Blockbuster. And what this means is that they will have a virtual Blockbuster store in their television. Viewing will be over the television, and it'll be enabled by a set-top box. So it'll be just as if you were going to the rental store and renting a movie, except it will all be taking place within your living room. Consumers will have the ability within their own living rooms to order from a vast library of movie titles. They'll use a set-top box to actually order the movie, and then using that box, they'll have the same functionality in terms of pause, rewind, stop that they would as if they were using a VCR. The Media and Entertainment Group within EBS originated the opportunity, and we sent a team out. We did quite a bit of due diligence on Blockbuster, and they did the same amount of due diligence on us. And probably after 4 weeks of work, Blockbuster determined that Enron and the Enron Intelligent Network were the company and the network that they wanted to go with to deliver movies to consumers. The right parties had come together. You take the power and the strength and the customer loyalty that Blockbuster brings, as well as the Enron Intelligent Network and our resources and the innovativeness that we're known for, and you put these 2 parties together and it just made sense. Going forward for the rest of this year, we intend to launch movies on demand in 2 U.S. cities by December. What we're doing to prepare for that is basically building the technical infrastructure and working with the studios and our last mile partners to provide this infrastructure that's going to be necessary to deliver movies. Now, after that, we're going to go to a more full-scale rollout. This will include multiple U.S. cities as well as international destinations for next year. Now, off of this main Blockbuster deal, what we're seeing is a number of commercial spin-offs. So we're seeing additional opportunities around content, such as in sports, web browsing. We're seeing a number of opportunities around the portal to blow this out and get it into a bigger commercial arrangement. We're seeing opportunities with the set-top box. So although it's just one deal, we're seeing a lot of ancillary activity being created because of this deal. What we're doing with Blockbuster is essentially building an infrastructure, a secure infrastructure to deliver entertainment on demand. So we have other parts of EBS right now working on additional content deals, and all of those deals will be able to capitalize on the infrastructure that we're building here with Blockbuster. We've really learned a lot from this transaction. I think a big deal like this, like Blockbuster, provides focus to a company. So I think that we've really seen all of EBS coming together and rallying behind this transaction. We've seen commercial people and technical people working hand in hand to solve a problem. We've been able to leverage different parts of the organization, different parts of the engineering organization. We've been able to use PR and IR, and we've got the marketing folks energized. So I think all in all, it's been a great experience for EBS. I think that the deal itself validated EBS's strategy. The Enron Intelligent Network was built for just this type of an application. We've been talking about QoS, we've been talking about security. This deal is the validation of what we've been saying and what we've been building. When we did the public announcement a couple of weeks ago and we unveiled the red carpets and we did the marquee, I think we were just sort of setting the stage for what was to come. So stay tuned. I think you're going to be impressed. I think it's going to start at the end of this year, and it's really going to be amazing.
What transaction development and structuring does is essentially, first of all, interface with the sales organization to understand what transactions they want to have brought into the organization. We analyze those transactions and then go back to the various different groups within the company to make sure that we have the proper pricing, the proper delivery dates, and that all aspects of the contract and the deal itself are agreed to by the organization as a whole.
When a deal comes through the war room, if you will, transaction development and structuring, we will break it up into different risk components and price those components in order to determine what the TCV is, which is total contract value, and the NPV on a deal.
On the commodity structuring side, we basically rely on the traders' models so far for pricing these structures, but we've just started to develop our own pricing model, which will be very similar to what's used on the ECT North America structuring desk.
We evaluate a deal from two different perspectives. One is from the economic perspective, and another is from more of a strategy and a softer side of the deal.
The other thing we do in addition to those two is we also have an analysis to make sure that it's technically deliverable.
Weekly, we have many brainstorming sessions where people from all over the company come in and they sit in a big room, and we just throw everything against a wall and we get everything out in the open, good, bad, ugly, and we find out what we need to do and work on each deal to make it a success.
That's also one of the tasks of our organization, is to look and say, okay, where else would this be applicable? Does it work in the enterprise sector? For David's group, he's got the whole international sector, so he's got a different view of the world, and he has to look at everything from network development all the way through the application itself and see how all that bundles together, and then say, well, does that fit Asia? Does it fit Europe? Does it fit South America? And what parts are different or what parts are the same?
I think the international groups can leverage a lot off of what we're learning here in North America, because the Internet's fairly much a North American phenomenon.
One of the functions we provide is kind of a staging area for new employees as they come in. It's a good training ground where you can get and you can see what all the different groups are doing. Another way of looking at it is you could consider us kind of a caching area where people come in, I would say extremely compelling human content, and which is later streamed out to the business units.
We do have a diverse group of talents that are looking at all aspects of the business, and there's probably no other place in the organization that sees all of it quite the same way we do. So, you know, it's a great place. It's a great resource for the company.
You never know what the rest of the organization is doing and who they're talking to, and we help coordinate different business calls, the different companies that everybody's talking to, and then give you a wider perspective on what's going on within the company as a whole.
I don't think there's a person here that takes themselves too seriously, and everybody, you know, there's not been one single point when we've asked somebody to do something that they're not ready, jumping up, saying, yeah, whatever you need, we'll get it done. So to me, that's what makes, you know, that makes it a really good group.
That's right, Steve.
We refer to ourselves as the Love Boat, and this is our captain.
Hi everybody, this is Ken Rice. Welcome to WebSource, the new EBS intranet. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for your hard work. We had a great second quarter. We at corporate, another great quarter for earnings. We announced the Blockbuster transaction. We got a lot of good press on that, but it really solidifies to the outside world what we knew all along inside EBS, that we've got a great network for broadband activities. On the trading side of our business, we've made tremendous progress in executing a number of trades and putting the infrastructure in place in London, Los Angeles, New York, and in Las Vegas to give us the ability to begin trading more frequently and with more partners throughout the world. We continue to make great progress on building out the network. We're deploying servers at the edges to support not only the Blockbuster deal, but all of the other content delivery deals that we've got in place. We continue to add more and more lit fiber to the network, and we're beginning to aggregate a great deal of customers for both streaming services as well as bandwidth intermediation services. So all in all, it's a great quarter. We're on the right track. We're going to be putting more and more of these deals together over the next 2 or 3 quarters, and I think the market is finally beginning to realize that we are a force to be reckoned with in this space. We're also really excited to roll out WebSource. WebSource is the most efficient internal communications tool that we have in the organization. Virtually everything you need to get access to information will be at WebSource. We have the library, which is the central repository for all public information. You'll be able to access your mail and your calendar on WebSource, and it's a great tool for pulling all of EBS together in one place and communicating throughout the organization. Again, we want to thank all of you for your hard work. We've really got the ball rolling on EBS, and we are creating the most awesome broadband network in the world. Thank you.
Hi, I'm April Hodgson. I am Vice President of the Media Group within the Content Delivery section of EBS. What our group primarily works on are the content deals that are associated with the media industry, which would include the groups of sports, publishing, media and entertainment as far as cable, network, and of course, as everyone's very familiar with, the Blockbuster deal that we did recently, which I think it should be noted that though a lot of people within Enron were involved in that deal from a lot of different groups, that originally the first call on that came from Jay Andrew, who was a member right here out of Houston of our media content sales team. So he made the first call and got that going. A lot of other people picked up the ball, and as Enron does, it was a teamwork effort to get a good deal done. Aside from the Blockbuster deal, we've also done a lot of other deals within our group that I think deserve mention. One of the interesting ones is Columbia TriStar, which is a division of Sony, and we're doing their broadband delivery 300 kilobit and above only. That's in association with the VOD offering that they're offering to a select group of people. It's a paid test, but certainly good foothold for us within Columbia TriStar. We also, one of our other large customers right now that's new is a company called SeasonTicket.com. SeasonTicket.com was the only site you could go to do the Major League Baseball All-Star balloting. They're moving up very quickly. They have a unique application, and we're their provider for that, so we're real happy about that. We've also done some content deals with companies, different companies in the internet space like Galaxy Online, which is a very high-end sci-fi channel. A company like Sports Capsule, which you can go to and actually buy and present footage and have footage run of either high school sports or your child's sports that go throughout to family, relatives, or whatever. There are other companies like Eternity TV, which is a travel site. We're definitely working on a lot of different deals there, but we also are close to some very big deals and working on some things with some major media providers that I think we'll start to see here towards the end of the year. We definitely have a balance within the group of working with some of the .com areas, but we also see a fast and very quick emerging piece where the traditional network companies are entering this space, and they realize the value of this space, but also the value they can add because they can draw huge amounts of eyeballs to their site very quickly. So I think you can look for some interesting things there in the second half of this year. I want to thank everybody, not just on my team, because I know how hard they all work all the time out there, but all the internal support people that we work with within the structuring group. The customer service group has been a huge asset to us in the last 3 months in helping us hand off customers and have customers feel very comfortable. Certainly the product engineering groups, it's interesting to see that the only way that we can succeed and that we are succeeding in doing the things that we're doing is because so many groups within Enron support everything that we need in the field. So my thanks to everyone for that.
Hi, my name is David Cox. I'm responsible for origination at the company, and I'd just like to thank everybody for once again delivering what is an unheard of quarter for our company in this particular space. Again, we're delivering on commitments that we've made to our shareholders that we're going to be successful and we're going to make money in this business. And I think we're going to be turning a corner real soon, delivering our Blockbuster deal, delivering on a number of other transactions that we're entering into, which are going to really stake the claim as Enron being the premier provider of these services in this industry. And once again, I want to thank everybody for their commitment and for making it happen. And we really, really appreciate your support going forward.
Hi, I'm Scott Yeager with Strategic Development, and we've been working with all the groups on trying to define the tiers of quality of service and how we productize it. In case you didn't know, that's really a big deal because we've been trying to get everybody to agree on a common set of terms and definitions and then how they would take that to market. So we have all the commercial groups, we have the traders, and we have the desk, we have the operations and engineering players and all the product development and marketing involved in this process. And by doing that, we're going to finally come up with a way that everybody uses the same nomenclature and the same terms to describe our products and services, and then how we take that out to the market and book orders. So we're trying to get business, and all of our origination groups need this. It's very important for us to have it. It also is how we're going to differentiate ourselves in the market because we have something that nobody else has. We have a quality of service that's defined in our IP cloud, and we're going to take that story out over and over again through all of our commercial groups. So I really appreciate all y'all's involvement, and let's go out there and book some orders.